Welcome to Nightline. I'm Brendan Wong. The headlines. Malaysians are ready to witness another historic installation ceremony of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. And citizenship application process to be shortened to 12 months. I don't have privacy, but I respect the responsibilities and protocols set on me as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. That was Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah's decree when asked about one of the sacrifices he has to make as the king. He, however, stressed that he had no complaint as it is part of his responsibilities as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Hawa Rizwana Rizwan files in the final part of the special report leading up to the installation ceremony.
Malaysians are all ready to witness yet another historic ceremony just hours from now that usually takes place every 5 years, the installation of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. It will see Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah, Ibni Almarhum Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Al-Musta'in Billah, be installed as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong at Istana Negara in a unique ceremony. And being the king to all Malaysians, His Majesty revealed how the responsibility has changed his life.
Yes, it's changed a lot. Of course, I have to make some changes to suit the role that I'm in now. I don't have privacy. I don't have that, pleasure of going out, to wherever I like. Of course, once in a while boleh lah saya curi-curi lah. But saya memahami sebab semua ada tanggungjawab, ya, yang semua ada dia punya protokol dia, ya, dan ini sudah pun ditentukan oleh pihak kerajaan dan pihak istana. So saya perlu hormati dan akuilah the restriction.
With all the powers come great responsibilities, and Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah has urged his subjects to give him the support and guidance to bring the nation to a greater height.
I will give all my best and, to my best ability to perform as a Tuan Agong. Then I hope everybody will come forward and give me guidance and support, for the sake of the country, yeah. And I won't be able to do it myself personally, on my own. But I need all the guidance. I stand to be guided.
The installation will have yet another historical significance because Al-Sultan Abdullah and the Raja Permaisuri Agong, Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandariyah, are the children of sultans who have been elected as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong. Also of historical significance is the role of Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who was also the Prime Minister who proclaimed Sultan Ahmad Shah and Sultan Iskandar as the Yang di-Pertuan Agong at the respective ceremonies then. Tuned into TV3 at 8 a.m. on Tuesday to witness the historic moment of the installation of the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong at Istana Negara. Hawa Rizwana Rizwan for Nightline TV3. Join us as we take you into the royal halls of Istana Negara. We speak to His Majesty, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, on his hopes and vision for Malaysia, the royal path taken in shaping the prince from Pahang who will be our king.
I hope everybody will come forward and give me guidance and support, for the sake of the country.
On Nightline, 27 to 29 July.
Datastream Muhammad Azmin Ali on Monday joined opposition parties PAS and UMNO in calling for Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad to serve out his full term as Prime Minister. Lauding PAS President Datastream Abdul Hadi Awang's endorsement on behalf of his party and UMNO, the Economic Affairs Minister said he has consistently called for Tun Dr. Mahathir to be given all 5 years of his mandate to rebuild Malaysia.
Highest tourism revenue.
He also added that the two opposition parties' endorsement of Tun Dr. Mahathir did not mean an end to their political differences with the ruling Pakatan Harapan, saying that this could continue without harming the larger population. The minister in a statement said the leadership of Tun Dr. Mahathir is required to ensure the stability, continuity and consistency of government policies to drive investment as well as create jobs and prosperity for all. Datastream Azmin added that he believed that political stability will build up the country's fundamentals and integrity, including the concept of shared prosperity that will bring Malaysia back to being an Asian tiger. He said Malaysians voted in the previous general election for institutional reforms that would only be possible if there was stability in government. Datastream Azmin also expressed his belief that PAS and UMNO's professed support for the leadership of Tun Dr. Mahathir would usher in a new era of bipartisanship and build up the collaboration that allowed Malaysia to lower the voting age from 21 to 18. On Saturday, Datastream Abdul Hadi said the PAS-UMNO alliance was in favour of Tun Dr. Mahathir completing his full term as Prime Minister. The citizen application process will be shortened from 3 years to a year. According to Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, the move is part of efforts by the government to ease the hardships of applicants. Tan Sri Muhyiddin said this at a ceremony to hand over approval for citizenship to 31 recipients in Kuching earlier in the day. Later, after visiting the State Police Contingent Headquarters housing complex in the Sarawak state capital, Tan Sri Muhyiddin told the media that a special task force will be formed to expedite citizenship applications, including those from Sarawak.
Ada hampir 27,000 permohonan dan kes-kes yang sedang kita selesaikan. Dan pasukan petugas ini bertanggungjawab untuk menyelesaikan dalam tempoh tahun ini juga. Dan these are the first batch of 27,000, including Sarawak di dalamnya.
He added that security screening will be implemented to ensure that applications are all genuine. He also revealed that the government would review the Standard Operating Procedure (SOP) for applications to make it more efficient. The new SOP will include clearer guidelines on how to handle and consider citizenship applications. Tan Sri Muhyiddin also stressed that citizenship registration, applications and processing came under the jurisdiction of the federal government and not the state government.
It is a federal matter. So when it is a federal matter, it's only proper that federal ministries and agencies manage it, like what we are doing for the rest of the country.
The Malaysian Safety Industry Association, PIKM, has raised concern over talks that the government will implement the Contract for Service, CFS, for security services of schools. The move by the Finance Ministry will likely cause some 800 security firms to face financial difficulties and over 50,000 security guards laid off.
Kita dapat ura-ura daripada Kementerian Keuangan mengatakan mereka akan mengadakan Contract for Service kepada Kementerian Pendidikan Malaysia, di mana kontrak-kontrak yang ada sekarang ini akan dibatalkan dan mereka akan menggunakan Contract for Service lah.
Datuk Sri Ramli Yusof also said the association tried to seek confirmation from the Finance Ministry, but there was no response. He warned that the security guards, who are mostly from the B40 group, will face financial hardship if the CFS was implemented. To date, some 40,000 security guards are hired to guard 12,000 schools across the country. Last month, some 45,000 cleaners lost their jobs when the Education Ministry introduced a new tender format for cleaning services in schools this year. The Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak SRC trial. An ex-banker who handled Datuk Sri Najib's accounts at AmBank told the High Court on Monday that 1.13 billion ringgit was transferred into the former Prime Minister's bank accounts. The transactions took place between 2011 and 2013. Speaking during cross-examination by Datuk Sri Najib's lawyer Havinderjit Singh, 48-year-old Joanne Yu Jingping, who was formerly an AmBank relationship manager, said Datuk Sri Najib received $369.99 million in several transactions between 2011 and January the 10th, 2013. Earlier, Yu confirmed that $100 million was transferred into Datuk Sri Najib's current account ending 694 in 2011. She said the account received two transactions of $10 million each, a $50 million transfer and a $30 million transfer. Meanwhile, Yu said fugitive businessman Lau Tek Jo or Jo Lo played an important role in the decision-making over the management of Datuk Sri Najib's accounts. Yu said former SRC Chief Executive Officer Nik Faisal Arif Kamil, as mandate holder for the accounts, formalized the instructions. The 54th prosecution witness also testified that Jo Lo referred to the US dollar and ringgit as pai and satay in transactions involving Datuk Sri Najib's accounts. Yu said Jo Lo used the terms pai and satay particularly when it concerned massive inflows of foreign money into Datuk Sri Najib's account. Police investigators have ruled out sabotage in the case of diesel pollution at Sungai Selangor that left over 1 million Klang Valley households without water this month. Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid Bado said the presence of diesel was instead believed to be the result of negligence by a firm hired to clean up the river. Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid spoke to the media after launching the Roadshow Autism Royal Malaysian Police Guidelines event in Kuala Lumpur on Monday.
Initially, we thought there was an act of sabotage by individual or individuals. And then when we took the action to arrest, to detain two of them, subsequent questioning reveal certain facts that it might not be sabotage, but an act of negligence on the part,
Last week, the National Water Service Commission, SPAN, filed a police report over the pollution. Kumpulan Semesta Sendirian Berhad, a Selangor-linked sand mining firm, later confirmed that diesel spillage had occurred at one of its sites near Sungai Selangor. Last week, the police arrested a pontoon manager and a worker over the pollution. It was also understood that the pontoon manager filed a police report claiming sand mining activities to be behind the diesel contamination. The IGP also said investigators are scrutinizing the pontoon manager's report to see if it contained falsehoods meant to cover up for other parties. On another matter, the IGP said police arrested 8 more Africans in connection with the attack on 4 police personnel who were conducting an operation at the Flora Damansara apartment in Petaling Jaya recently.
So dalam kes ini amat nyatalah satu tindakan yang begitu ganas yang tidak bertanggungjawab dilakukan oleh sekumpulan warga daripada Afrika ini tadi mengkasari anak buah saya di bawah. So pihak Polis Selangor telah pun mengambil tindakan. It applies to all, bukan satu negara ni saja kita sasarkan, tidak. Anybody who breaks the law, so kita akan ambil tindakan yang sekeras-kerasnya.
Earlier on July the 27th, Selangor Criminal Investigations Department Chief Senior Assistant Commissioner Fadil Ahmad confirmed that 10 African men were arrested to facilitate investigation in the July 25th incident. Still to come on Nightline, drug syndicates crippled with arrests of 18 suspects. Welcome back. In Selangor, a man believed to be a drug kingpin was among the 18 suspects detained in an operation codenamed Op Vulture by the Bukit Aman Narcotics Crimes Investigations Department over the weekend. Police also crippled the syndicate's network following multiple raids at 4 other locations around the Klang Valley, Johor and Malacca. Police said the drug kingpin in his 40s was detained along with his assistant in a location in Puchong at about 5 p.m. last Saturday. Initial investigations found that the suspect has a large drug trafficking network which can supply large quantities of drugs based on demand. The syndicate is also said to have links in a neighboring country. Various drugs, including shabu, ketamine and ecstasy, worth a total of about 5.8 million ringgit, were also seized in the raid. The case is being investigated under the Dangerous Drugs Act. In Perak, an argument over an outstanding electricity bill ended in tragedy when a 37-year-old man hit his younger brother to death near Ipoh on Sunday. He was later detained on the spot and was remanded for 7 days starting Monday to facilitate the investigation into the incident. Manjung District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Muhammad Hanif Othman said police received a distress call at 11:40 p.m. about an argument between the brothers at a restaurant in Pengkalan Baru. Upon arrival at the scene, they found 35-year-old Hussain Maidin lying motionless with blood trickling from his head before being pronounced dead a few minutes later. Muhammad Hanif said the fight started when the victim, who was working at the restaurant, heard his brother talking rudely to their mother. Initial investigation revealed that the mother had an argument with the elder son, apparently over an overdue electricity bill. It is understood that the mother also sustained injuries while trying to break up the fight and was taken to the nearby health clinic for treatment. The body was taken to the Raja Permaisuri Bainun Hospital in Ipoh for post-mortem. In Selangor, a teenager was found burnt to death in a worker's cabin at a construction site in Jalan Kuala Kubu, heading towards Rasa Town on Monday. Ulu Selangor District Police Deputy Chief DSP Azman Abdul Rahman said J. Dineshwaran, 17, had accompanied his security guard father when the latter went to work and had slept alone in the cabin with a lighted candle. Dineshwaran's body was sent to the Kuala Kubu Baru Hospital for post-mortem. In Perak, a man was charged at the Taiping Sessions Court on Monday with raping his 19-year-old biological daughter. The 48-year-old man, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge before Judge Sheikh Nur Ala Shikin Abdul Razak. He was charged with having sexual intercourse with his daughter, who is the third of 8 siblings, allegedly since the girl was 14 years old, with the latest last month at a teacher's quarters in Selama. He was not allowed bail, and the court set September 12 for case management and appointment of counsel. In Sabah, police have crippled a syndicate allegedly offering to help people apply for birth certificates and MyCard using false personal details in Semporna. A 43-year-old National Registration Department officer was among 3 people arrested last Tuesday in connection with the case. Sabah Deputy Police Commissioner Datuk Zaini Jas said the trio were believed to have been operating since early last year. Police were also checking if officials or staff from other government agencies or departments are involved. In Johor, 12 foreign workers have been arrested after 3 recycling factories believed to be operating illegally were raided in Pasir Gudang in a joint operation carried out by the state's Department of Environment DOE and the Immigration Department on Monday. The joint operation involved 60 personnel from the DOE, the Pasir Gudang Municipal Council, police and the Immigration Department. Authorities have been ramping up environment enforcement in the Pasir Gudang district ever since students had been afflicted by mysterious symptoms of nausea. Coming up after the break, several dead as gunman opens fire on crowd. On to the foreign front. Lee Hsien Loong, the estranged brother of Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, has backed a new opposition party and an intriguing twist ahead of elections expected to be held as soon as this year. In a Facebook posting made last Sunday, Shen Yang said the ruling People's Action Party PAP, led by his brother and founded by his father Lee Kuan Yew, had lost its way. Thus, Shen Yang wholeheartedly supports the principle and values of the New Progress Singapore Party, PSP, which was formed by Tan Cheng Bock, a former stalwart of the ruling party, to contest elections due by 2021. Shen Yang, however, did not elaborate further or say whether he would join the new party. His comments came amid a bitter feud with Shen Lung over what to do with their late father's house and an election which some analysts say could be months away and must be held by early 2021 at the latest. The PAP, which has ruled Singapore since its independence over half a century ago and never seen its vote share drop below 60%, did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In the U.S., police in Northern California were searching early on Monday for a suspected accomplice of a gunman who killed 3 people in a mass shooting at a food festival a day earlier. Police said it is believed a second person may have been involved. However, they did not know in what way. The shooting on Sunday took place on the last day of the Gilroy Garlic Festival, an annual 3-day event about 48 kilometers southeast of the city of San Jose, where the gunman appeared to have cut through a fence to get into the festival before he was shot dead by police officers within minutes of opening fire. At least 15 other people were injured in the incident, but it was unclear how many were shot or otherwise hurt in the crush by bystanders trying to flee. The motive behind the killing, meanwhile, remains unclear. And that sports item wraps up Nightline this time around. Tonight, we leave you with visuals of 3 players from Sydney FC who took on 30 young Chinese players in a 3-on-30 match in Suzhou, China. Adam Lefondre, Ryan Grant and Ryan McGowan took up the challenge after conducting a clinic with the kids ahead of the Sky Blues pre-season friendly with Paris Saint-Germain. The numbers proved too much for the Sydney trio as the kids beat them 3-1. I'm Brendan Wong. Thank you for your company.